Welcome back to Hoops HD, everybody. This is Championship Week Video Notebook Day number 3. Am I 3?
Yep, I'm in the bunker. Get me
Yeah.
the hell out of here.
I'm Joe's Chad Show. And over there, locked in the
I'm
puppet
in the
bunker, is
bunker.
David Griggs.
Like the
Just two of us
bunker.
tonight.
Yes, one of us is in a bunker. How come? Why don't we ever put? Why don't we have a host bunker?
Because I've got other things to do with the rest of my life
I
than
got other things to do too.
You're a papa. You got nothing to do. Um, this is our Championship Week Video Notebook, where we will be coming to you every night between now and Selection Sunday. We will be doing news and notes. We'll be reviewing all conference tournament games. We'll be previewing upcoming conference tournament games. We'll be updating our survival board, and we got a lot more, some fun things in store. We're going to be starting with tonight even. But let's start with, news and notes. Well, David, if you want news and notes, we're actually not going to do them tonight.
Yeah.
Tell people what they should do tomorrow night, though.
What's tomorrow night? Oh yeah, they
Our
should be
Hoops HD
watching.
report.
Yeah, they should be watching the Hoots HD report because wow, what a weekend we had! It
Yeah,
was a great weekend. We're not talking about any of it tonight though.
no, we will be doing a Hoops HD report, our final Hoops HD report of the regular season tomorrow night. We will be going over all the major conference games. Great action this weekend. Tonight's show is limited to the conference tournaments and a couple
Yeah.
other small things, though.
One thing, real quick, since we're not doing under the radar anymore, the Missouri Valley completed their conference schedule, all of it. I don't think
Everybody got
yeah,
all 18 games in. That was amazing. I saw that today.
yeah,
Also,
and I don't think any other conference is going to be able to make that claim. Good for them. Anyway, just wanted to make sure we got that.
congrats to the Valley. They 99.9% are the other one that did it. And we've got conferences like the
Yeah,
West Coast Conference that seeded their conference tournament based on actual results plus Ken Palm projected record results in games that were not played. That's how the West Coast Conference determined its seeding for its conference tournament. So it was, we just saw some wild stuff this year for some of these leagues.
yeah.
Which is probably still better than what the Horizon League did when they pulled names out of a
I
hat.
still don't understand what they did.
Let's get to the only two conference tournament games that were actually played today, David. They were both in the America East. We started off with to the bottom of those two games, UMass Lowell at New Hampshire. And if you remember, on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon, Stony Brook jumped out to a huge lead on Lowell. Lowell fought all the way back and stole the game late. This game, Lowell's one that jumped out to a huge lead, and it was UNH that made a huge late comeback to try to get this game.
Yeah, they really surged. A couple of entertaining games today for that reason. Like they couldn't get all the way over the top, and even as they were coming back, you never felt like Lowell was completely out of control.
Well, no, but if you know, in the last few minutes there, New Hampshire cut it all the way down to 3, and then
Yeah,
Khalil Thomas for Lowell hits a 3-pointer with about 10 seconds left to put them up 6, and that was the end of it. But
yeah,
there was a slim chance, one turnover, one missed shot, we could have been going overtime. It was that close,
yeah,
which was just an amazing comeback in a game that I was ready to turn off in the first half. I was so
yeah.
sad.
So UMass Lowell advancing to the semifinals for the first time ever, a recent transitional team. So congratulations to them. They've got UMBC
Next
in
Saturday.
about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever that is, next month sometime. Yeah.
The other game though, Hartford actually, I don't even think it was. Well, it was close the whole way. It was like
Yeah.
Hartford had them at about a 6-point advantage the whole way. It just seemed to stay right there. Albany never quite
Yeah,
got all the way there.
Hartford kept them at arm's length, and every time Albany made a run, yet you're right, it doesn't seem like they could ever overtake it or ever get the lead. It didn't seesaw back and forth, but the game was played in about a 6 to 10 point range the whole way, it seemed like. But Howie the Hawk, and we really are disappointed that our friend Lee Del Vecchio, Zach Singer, could not be here tonight. He's a big Howie fan.
Well, we may be able to get him back on next Saturday to discuss their game against Vermont. Interesting, David. The later of the two games, the Vermont Hartford game next Saturday, that is what should have been the America East Championship game that did not happen with the COVID shutdown last year.
Yeah,
It was
you're right.
Hartford at Vermont. So here we go. It's a semifinal this year, but we get Hartford at Vermont. So
Yeah.
these teams have been waiting a year to play each other in the America East tournament. They finally get their matchup this coming Saturday, the 6th.
Yeah. And I don't know what the situation is with the fans, but anyway. So they play on the 6th, and then the championship game is a couple months after that.
The 15-day America East tournament. Well, at
Yeah.
least we're going to be going away from the America East for a while. We're not going to be talking about you again until maybe Friday when we preview the Saturday games. And that's all
Yeah.
that we had in terms of games for today.
Yep.
In
So
fact,
to
David, we're on day 3 already. The first day we had 4 games. The second day
yeah.
we had 5 games. Today we had 2 games.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at tomorrow. Monday, we double our amount of games. We're back to 4 again. Where
Yeah.
the heck are the games, really?
Well, yeah, it seems like you always start because it normally starts on a Tuesday, championship week, and sometimes if you're lucky, you get some unofficial conference tournament games like those years in the A7 where it came down to an 8-9 game that determined the last spot in the tournament. But it'll start to pick up here very, very quickly. But anyway,
I hope,
Sun
I
action,
hope that,
or I'm sorry, Big South. I don't even know.
yeah, big South tomorrow. We the first time so far in championship week, we do have our first 1 seed in action, Winthrop, hosting High Point. Other games, Longwood, these are all on campus site. Longwood at Asheville, Hampton's at Radford, Gardner Webb is at Campbell.
Yeah.
So the big question we have is, of course, do we foresee any upsets here in tomorrow's 4 games?
I don't. I've really enjoyed this Longwood team over the years. It seems like every year we sort of make a point of saying what great progress they're making, and here they are in a winnable quarterfinal game. If they could get to the semis, that would be pretty cool. But I've kind of described this league all year long when doing the under the radar is that there's a big gap between Wofford and Radford and a big gap between Radford and everybody else. I still think that that's true. uh, Maybe Gardner Webb over Campbell if you want to call it an upset, but I think it's going to be pretty chalky, to be honest, Jed.
You know, they're all on home courts. I agree with you. I think I like Winthrop, Asheville, and Radford the most. I agree with you. Something's going to be an upset. I think Campbell is the most vulnerable of those 4
Yeah,
teams, but I don't know that Gardner Webb is good enough to beat them either. So we might be doing chalk of the top 4 seeds into Thursdays, which means we'll probably get 4 upsets tomorrow. The way
yeah.
that.
I mean, the way it's going. I mean, it's not like it's the Summit League where the 8 always beats the 1.
Um, a couple of quick notes here. Actually, I just had a note here about Bryant. This could be unfortunate. Bryant, Northeast Conference is only taking 4 teams into the tournament. Bryant is looking to be potentially the 1 seed in that tournament. They just went on a COVID had a
Oh
COVID
no!
problem at Bryant, so
I'm
their
hearing
final
this for the first time.
yeah,
Oh
their
no!
final regular season games, which are scheduled for this week, are off, and they are a big old question mark for the NEC for the Northeast Conference tournament. So we are hopeful that they can get on the court for that, but that would it's not coming up until the weekend. I think not till Saturday, so they've got a week to try to get things in order. But
Okay.
that could be something we have to really pay attention to. That'll be I mean, we've lost already a couple teams to COVID, but both cases they've been the last place teams in the conference.
Right.
Both this conference with Charleston Southern and in Jacksonville out of the A-Sun. But if Bryant is shut down and can't be in the Northeast tournament, that would be huge, huge. Um, Also, just a quick update from last night. We are talking about our Centenary Award. David, we do want to congratulate Delaware State. Got blown out by 20 points at home by Coppin State today. As
Getting
far
it
as I
done.
know, they are done with their season and did not win a single D1 game. So we may have our Centenary Award winner.
We do. We normally award this. It's normally on the first night of business. Chad is the chairman
For our mock
and
committee, yes.
for our mock committee, and he tallies up the first ballot. Which, when you hear us say first ballot teams, those are teams that go in on the first night before we really get started. And the other order of business is that we award the Centenary Award.
Yeah, well, it won't become official until that night, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I don't know that anyone could beat Delaware State at this point,
right. You're not going to do.
unless they schedule another game here because we know the way games get
Yeah,
scheduled. So
right. You're not going to do anything crazy like say Pitt should win it this time.
no, not
Yeah.
this year. Let's jump over to our survival board, though. How about
Yes.
that?
Okay.
This is, if we can get it to show up on the screen, there it is. This is our NCAA tournament survival board. This is a tool that is available to the actual selection committee in the
Yes.
room.
Yes.
And we've got all kinds of teams listed in various methods here on this board.
Yeah.
What we don't see is teams in bold and all caps. That won't happen until actually an automatic bid is earned. But
Right.
we do see teams in bold, David. Those are teams that the committee has to take, correct?
Yes, they have to take these
They are
teams.
locks. So if the
Yes.
committee's in the room, say, should we take Villanova? The answer is
Yes. Yeah. Yes, because they're in bold.
okay. Now, Next, we also list teams in italics. Those are what we call bubble teams. They may or may
Yes.
not be in. So if they're wondering, should we take Seton Hall? The answer to that question is
It's
maybe.
maybe you have to look at them, yeah, and a lot of that has to do with you got to keep paying attention to them because if they win the rest of their games, maybe you should take them.
Yeah. If they're wondering if we should take Georgetown,
No,
well, that's a no. They're
yeah,
in regular
because
type.
they're in regular type.
They can only get in via an automatic bid. They're still alive to win the national championship, but only if they
Right?
win the
Yeah,
Big East tournament.
yeah. Everybody that's on this list gets to play until they lose. So
And if they're wondering if you should take a team from the Ivy League, let's say Penn or Princeton,
well, no,
no.
they're not listed. Like
Right.
they're not allowed to take teams that are not listed on this board.
Exactly. So we were heading into today at 320 teams remaining. Now, this is again a big problem I have because if we're going at the pace we're at right now, it's going to be a very long championship week.
Yeah.
As a result of today's games, 318 teams remaining.
Yes. Yes. So we
This is
eliminated two. Eventually, we're going to get down the one.
Just a quick side note, some conferences that don't take the full conference into the tournament because of issues with COVID, we've decided to wait until the conference tournament actually tips off until we
Yeah.
remove extra teams. For example, the Summit League and the Ohio Valley have announced their fields.
Yes.
There are a total of 5 teams between those two conferences that did not qualify for them, but we're going to give it a couple days here. See,
Yeah.
hopefully that those teams that did make it don't get knocked out. But just in case something does happen, we
Yes.
gotta
And
wait
a
till
good.
those tournaments start. Yeah.
Yes. And can I plug our good friend Brian Blackhair Chad
Yes, please.
on Twitter? It's 358 jerseys for hope. I believe that's his handle.
Yes, it
350.
is.
Yeah, 358. The number's 358.
357.
Oh, 357
Yeah.
jerseys for hope. Follow him on Twitter, and it is what it sounds like. He's raising awareness for epilepsy. He himself is an epilepsy survivor. He has gotten he doesn't have all 357, but he has damn near 300 of them. As teams are eliminated from the survival board, he's giving them a shout out with a photo of the jersey. Look at that, retweet it, help us. Help him raise awareness, and let's make this go as viral as possible.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for follow Brian, Bryan Black
Yeah.
on Twitter if you need to find him.
Yeah, you can follow me and chat if you'd like, but you really should follow Brian. He's better.
Don't follow David. Absolutely
Yeah.
don't. David, we have a new feature we decided to add in to our
Yes.
Championship Week video notebooks. And since we've got a couple more minutes left here in our show, although I think we only got about 50 minutes left to hit our 1 hour
Yeah.
time limit.
Yeah.
We decided to break it out that this week. We decided to take a look at, with the season coming to an end, what coaches are in good shape and what coaches are in bad shape.
Yes.
So we have decided to break out the hoopshd.com presents the hot seat.
Yes, the hot seat. And this can be a real stressful time. A lot of coaches, championship week, it's their last chance to maybe keep their jobs. They're on the hot seat. We're going to be profiling coaches that we feel are on the hot seat.
Yes, and tonight's profile, a coach that, this team got eliminated, got removed from the survival board, except for regular type. They are not going to make the NCAA tournament unless they get an automatic bid. They're going to have a losing record this year. He has been absolutely awful. He should absolutely be on the hot seat.
Tom Crane. What? Wait.
John Calipari.
Chad.
What?
John Calipari on the hot seat. What time did you start drinking?
Look at Kentucky's record. Did you see Kentucky's record?
Well, yeah, I saw Kentucky's record, but to be okay, last year they didn't win any tournament games either.
Right. This will be 2 straight years. They were not played. They did not play the NCAA tournament for 2 straight years. If you go 2 straight years without an NCAA tournament at Kentucky, you're on the hot seat.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened in about 50 years.
Exactly.
Oh boy. So yeah, he's won a national title. He's been the Final Fours. I think he has more tournament wins since joining Kentucky than anybody else in that time span. But that seat is getting hot.
Coach Cal on the hot seat. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll feature another coach that's on the hot seat.
Okay, so what does he have to do to keep his job here?
Well, if he wins the rest of his games, including the SEC tournament, and then wins 6 in a row in the NCAA tournament,
So he's
Uh,
still got a chance.
he still got you. Well, he is
Yeah.
on our survival board. Let's scroll
Yes, he
down
is.
here.
Yeah.
There it is. This way you can see Kentucky is here, so they do have a mathematical chance. If he
Yeah.
wins that
Okay.
national championship, all is forgiven. Otherwise, he's on the hot seat.
Oh wow.
I guess on that note, let's go to any other final thoughts, David. You have any other thoughts to finish off the show for the night?
Not really. Just again, championship week is going to start pick up. It was nice to see the Valley get their whole season in. I wish more leagues would have been able to do it. Um, we Another thing to consider is the contingency bids that each conference has, because the NCAA tournament, as we talked about, every conference gets one. Just about all of them will give it to the conference tournament winner as an automatic bid, but they also have a contingency plan in case the automatic qualifier is unable to participate. So something else to look at on the conference tournament tab.
Yeah, I'll actually pull up. This is our conference tournament tab that I just pulled up on the screen here. As you scroll down, you can see all the conference tournaments. We are gathering the information. It's going slowly, but for
Yes, yeah,
example,
very
look at the Big East. Their contingency plan is that the tournament runner-up will
okay.
get the automatic bid. The Big Sky, also the tournament runner-up, followed by the highest seeded semifinal loser. So
Yeah,
we don't know what happens after the tournament runner-up in the Big East. They didn't give us that information, but we are
right.
we're putting this together, so you'll see it there for the conferences that we do have it, and hopefully that'll be filled out in the next few days with all the conferences.
Yeah,
We've got to do a little bit of groundwork here. David is
right.
can't type very well because he's a
No, I
puppet,
can't. Yeah, that's part of the problem.
but I guess on that note, on behalf of David Griggs, I'm Chad Sherwood. We will be back again tomorrow night with a full panel for our Hoops HD report, followed by our championship week video notebook. Double podcast tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, and we'll be up till 3 a.m. at some point here this week. But
Most of the
have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you again real soon.